Okay, check. I'm just deleting the stuff out of the background here, but the learning goal for this video is we want to learn some of the basic tools that we will use for designing and putting together our bridge that we're going to build. So I'm just resetting things in the background here while I set it up. So we're going to use a couple tools. This is AutoCAD. This is what it looks like when you log in. And when you do log in, there are certain things that are already set up in here that I'm going to show you how to set them up how we want them to be set. In the background, I got some great music, some Robot Apocalypse, which is music I created. Anyway, I got to pull this out of to the side here because I've got my play and start. Okay. I think we are almost ready. When you log into AutoCAD, it is going to look like this. This is what the screen is, and we need coordinates on. So you click down here, you go up to where it says coordinates, and select it, and then you'll see down here the coordinates. And as you can see, as I move around, you'll be able to see the coordinates. Here is 0, 0. And we want to think of this, if you've taken math this semester, like you would in math. Okay, so there again is 0, 0, right at the center of our Cartesian plane, XY plane. And if we go over, what we're going to do is, if we type anywhere, we're going to type units. And for the bridge that we're building, we only need 2 decimal places. So let's change it to 2 decimal places. And we're going to be building in inches. So let's select inches here and say OK. Now, down at the bottom, it's only to 2 decimal places, which is what we want. We're in inches. Now, if we notice 0, 0, this one is over about 10. So those grids on the screen are 10 spots. So I want to change that so that they're 1 spot. So I typed in grid and I changed it to 1. And now if we look, each grid space is about 1. And that corresponds to, we set it up to be 1 inch. So each one here is an inch. And we're going to be building a bridge that is about 22 inches. So I got to zoom out a little bit here. To reposition it, if you click the trackball, you can move it around. And there we go. So what we're going to do, we're going to use the line tool in this video. We're going to use the offset tool, and we're also going to use here the trim tool. And we're going to create a big rectangle, and I'm going to show you how to do that, which would be the start for, I guess, if we were making a bridge. I'm not making any particular bridge, but so I've got my line. I'm going to push 0, 0, and it puts the starting point right at 0, 0, okay, of this line. Now I got to figure out where the line's going to go to. So because the gap is 22, I'm going to put it at 26, 0. And so 26 will be over the gap. I don't want my bridge to fall in the hole. It's going to go over top of it. So now the XY plane is over at our end point. So we want it to come up here somewhere, maybe up 5. So this is our new XY, or 0, 0 point is right here. So what we want is 0 left and right, and let's go up, let's go up 10 instead of 5. Okay, now this point here is our new X and Y point, so we want to come straight over top of the 0, 0 point, which is to the left negative 26 spots. And it's not, so comma, it's up and down nothing. So I'm going to put comma 0. Now it puts the line straight across, and now I'm straight above. I could bring this down here, and because 0, 0 is a point, I could click on it and snap to that. But let's go left and right 0, comma, we're gonna go down 10. And there we go. We have completed our rectangle. And now it's setting us up to draw another one. If we hit escape, it will get rid of that line, that extra line that we're going to do. Now let's use this offset tool. With the offset tool, when I click on something, first of all, when I do it, I've got to specify how much I want to offset the line. And our pieces of wood are going to be 0.25 of an inch, so 1/4 inch. So we're going to offset it 1/4 inch. As soon as we click on it and drag in the direction that we want to offset it, I could drag to either side, it automatically does it 1/4 inch for us. And I just have to click and then it happens. Now it keeps in this offset tool. I've offsetted all the sides here until I push escape. And then I'm back to my regular one. Now if I zoom in, what I notice is right in the corner here, I've got a piece of wood that'll come down here and stop right there, and a piece of wood that comes down here and stop down there, and then I've got kind of a gap here where right now it looks like I'm putting another piece of wood. So what I want to do is I want to get rid of those lines. So maybe down this whole side will be one piece of wood. So I'm going to use this trim tool and select the 2 lines that are happening in this, and I'm going to push enter, and then as soon as there's that, see that little red X, I can just click there and it removes that little bit that's sticking out. So now it's that one piece that goes all the way down the side, and my other piece of wood is coming up to it. And we can do this for all the pieces at the same time. If I click the trim tool again, and I'll select all these pieces all around the outside here, and then I'll hit enter because I want to start deleting next, and then I can go into each of the corners and just click that bit and delete it off of there, so that this on this side it will be the one piece all the way up. And now the top is just that piece. Now I gotta kind of, let's do the same thing over here so it looks symmetrical. I'm gonna remove those little lines from this side. Again, you can zoom in with the mouse ball. If you click and hold, you can kind of reposition it left and right and up and down like I'm doing there. And there. So now I've got these nice pieces. If this were my bridge, it's spanning the whole, but right now it's just a kind of a weird square. If I click the line tool, so when you're doing this, you may want to start at 0, 0, and I know the midway point is going to be half of 26, so it's going to be 13. Half of 26 is 13, and instead I might go up. I'll go 13,5. I'll go halfway up in this square. Those are all the tools. I'm just kind of playing around a little bit now. And now from there, I'm going to be going 13 to the right and down 5 to get it into the next corner. So -5. There we go. Now I might hit escape. I might offset these lines here. Whoops, I must have missed it. Oh, sorry, I gotta type in how much I'm offsetting it by, so 1/4 of an inch, so 0.25. I'm gonna offset them both down. There we go. And now there's a couple parts there that I need to clean up a little bit. And to do that, we can use the trim tool. So I'll select these 2. Trying to zoom in. There we go. And I can delete that bit there. And the other bit. Oh, shoot. Well, I'll draw the line first. Okay, so I'm gonna draw a line from here. Now, in that one, I didn't specify a point, I just clicked. So I just clicked on it. It allowed me, when a green spot comes up, it can allow you to snap it to that position, and I'll snap it to the top. Oops, it didn't snap to the other position. Hang on a second. Let me get rid of this bit here. There we go. And oh, it did. Okay, so I've got my line up the center there. Sometimes difficult to see. I'm working with a small screen here. Now, if you click and hold and swipe in a clockwise direction, you have to pick the whole thing, like as I'm trying to do here. So when it's a blue center, you have to pick the whole thing in order for it to select it. If you, I'll do it again. If you click and hold in a counterclockwise direction and it's got a green center, you only need to select part of it. And then you can hit delete and delete those parts that you don't want. So this might be the start of my bridge. Something like this. It looks a little bit more like a roof to a house, but and then down here I could clean up these bits too. So I'm just gonna play around. Not all the time does the trim work. I find that sometimes I have to use the erase. So let's see what'll happen here. I'll start out with the trim. Yeah, so that little bit out there, it isn't allowing me to do it. If I click this and select that little bit, then I can just delete it. Yeah. That's the weird case. Remember, escape gets you out of whatever you're doing. Enter makes it do it. You can type in things all the time. And this would be the start. So this is just playing around. We want to design our bridge first on this AutoCAD program and submit our design before we start building, because we're going to use this kind of as our template for how we're going to put it together. Anyways, hopefully this little tutorial helps get you started with AutoCAD. I'm going to keep playing here. And as well, play around with it. I would draw on paper your plan to start, and then see if you can replicate it in AutoCAD. If you have any questions, let me know, and I can come around and help people.